You're 14. You're in your bedroom. The door is closed because that's what 14-year-olds do. Your phone is face down on the bed because you're supposed to be doing homework. It buzzes. You flip it over. Just a glance, you tell yourself. A message request? A username you don't recognize. Profile picture is a boy your age, maybe a year older. Cute. The kind of cute that doesn't go to your school. Because no one at your school looks like that. Hey, saw your post about sleeping with sirens. Underrated as hell. You don't reply. Not yet. You screenshot it and send it to your best friend. She sends back 3 fire emojis, replying, OMG! You wait 20 minutes. You don't want to seem desperate. Then you reply, oh my god, right? No one gets it. He gets it. He gets everything. You don't apply to be groomed. There is no application. There's no recruiter. There's no health teacher in 7th grade who pulls up a slide deck and says, by the way, here's exactly what this looks like. Here's exactly how it feels and how it starts. If they had, you would have rolled your eyes. You would have said you'd never fall for it. You're smart. You're online a lot. You know about creeps. You think creeps look like creeps. You think a predator is a 50-year-old man in a stained t-shirt at a playground. You think they're obvious. You think you see one a mile away. You don't know yet that the people who do this, and it is a craft, even when it's just by one guy in a basement, it's still practiced, still rehearsed, still drawn from a playbook he found somewhere. Those people don't look like creeps. They look like the cute boy from a school you've never been to. They look like someone who finally gets your music. They look like a friend. That's the entire point. Week 1, he listens. God, he listens. He asks about your day and he remembers the answer. He remembers the name of your dog. He remembers your sister was a bitch on Tuesday. He remembers your math teacher is unfair. He remembers what you said about your dad on Wednesday at 11 p.m. when you were tired and sad and didn't think anyone was really paying attention. Your parents don't remember any of that. Your friends are too busy with their own stuff. He remembers everything. Week 2, he tells you you're different. Not like the other girls, not like the other guys, not like the other kids your age. Mature, smart. You think differently. You see things other people don't see. You're an old soul. You're wise beyond your years. You believe him because part of you has always wanted to believe it. Because every 14-year-old on the planet has wanted to believe it. Because feeling like an alien in your own life is the default condition of being 14. And along comes someone who says, no, you're not an alien. You're just better. And I'm the only one who can see it. Week 3, he tells you a secret. Something heavy. Maybe his parents are getting divorced. Maybe he was bullied at his school. Maybe something happened to him when he was younger. The secret is a gift. He tells you he's never told anyone this. You feel chosen. The secret is also a debt you now owe him. Week 4, you give him one. You tell him the thing you've never told anyone. The thing about your dad's drinking. The thing about how sometimes you don't want to be alive. The thing about the boy at school who said the thing and the way you've been carrying it ever since. He cradles it, says he understands it. He says he's the only one who could understand. He's right, because he's made sure of it. Week 5, he starts pulling you away. Not in a way you can see, in a way you only notice later, much later. When you try to reconstruct what happened and you realize you can pinpoint the exact week your best friend stopped feeling like your best friend. Your friend sounds like she doesn't really get you. Your mom seems pretty controlling, honestly. I bet they wouldn't understand us. Us. There's an us now? When did that happen? You scroll back, you can't find the moment. There wasn't one. It just slid in. That's the craft. The first ask is small, so small you almost don't notice it's an ask. Send me a selfie. You do. Why wouldn't you? You send selfies to your friends. You send selfies on Snapchat to people you've never met. A selfie is nothing. A selfie is air. He says you're beautiful. He says it in a way no one's ever said it to you. Your friends say, cute outfit. Your friends say, slay. He says, beautiful. He says it like he means it. He says it like it's the first time anyone's looked at you and actually seen you. The second ask is bigger. Send me one without the hoodie. You hesitate. He notices. He always notices. Sorry, that was weird. Forget it. Now you feel bad. You made him feel weird. You don't want him to feel weird. He's the only one who gets you. He's the only one who really sees you. You don't want to be one of those girls who's stuck up about it. You send it. He says beautiful again. The third ask. The fourth. The fifth. Each one a little more than the last. Each one feels like nothing because the last one was almost the same. This is called desensitization. You learn the words years later in the therapist's office, and you laugh out loud, not because it's funny, but because it's so simple it's insulting. Because something so basic worked on you. Because you thought you were smarter than that. You were smart. That wasn't the problem. The problem was that no one ever told you you were beautiful before, and someone finally had. And the price for keeping that, for staying beautiful, for staying chosen, the price kept going up by tiny amounts you didn't notice paying. There's a moment. You don't know it's the moment when it's happening. You only know later. You sent something, or you said something, or you did something on camera. It doesn't matter what, it matters that you did it. And then the tone shifts. Not all at once, sometimes not even that day. Sometimes a week later, when you say something he doesn't like, when you take too long to respond, when you mention a boy at school, when you say you can't talk tonight because there's family dinner. The message comes in. It's small. It's almost a joke. Haha, would be a shame if your mom saw what you sent me. You read it 3 times. You read it a 4th time. You ask if it's a joke. He says, of course it's a joke, baby. He says he'd never. He says he loves you. Says he loves you for the first time, and on the same day he reminds you that he could destroy your life. You don't put those two things together. Not yet. Your brain isn't ready to. Your brain is still trying to be the version of the story where this is a love story. But your stomach knows. Your stomach has known for a while. You start sleeping with the phone under your pillow. Not because you want to, because you can't not. When you lose, you don't notice losing. You lose your best friend, not in a fight, just slowly. She texts and you don't reply because you're talking to him. She invites you to things and you don't go because you'd rather be in your room. She stops inviting you. You don't notice. By the time you do, she has new friends and you don't have any. You lose your sleep. He's in a different time zone, or he says he is, when you should be asleep. You stay up. Your eyes burn in second period. Your grades drop. Your parents think it's a phase. You think it's a phase too. You lose your face. Not literally. You stop looking at it. When you brush your teeth, you stare at the faucet because you can't tell anymore which version of yourself is real. The version he describes, the beautiful, mature, special one, or the version your stomach knows about, the one who's done things, the one who feels disgusting. Both versions are you. Neither feels like you. You lose your appetite or you eat too much. The body doesn't know what to do with what's happening, so it picks one. You lose the thing that you used to love. Drawing, soccer, piano, whatever it was. You used to love it. Now you don't have time for it. Now it feels stupid. Now it feels like a thing the old version of you cared about, and the old version of you is gone. You lose your parents, not in a way you can name. They're still there. You eat dinner with them. You answer their questions. But you're not in the room with them anymore. You're somewhere else. You're in the conversation that's happening on your phone in your pocket. You're already drafting your next reply. If they ask if everything's okay, you say yes. You've gotten really good at lying. You didn't used to be. That's a skill he taught you, even though he never taught you anything directly. Maybe you tell someone, maybe a friend notices something and asks the right question on the right day and you crack. Maybe a teacher sees a thing on your screen and you can't lie fast enough. Maybe your mom finds your phone. Maybe you finally type the words into a search bar at 3 a.m. Is it grooming if I wanted it? The search engine treats you gently. You weren't expecting that. The first result is a hotline. The second is an explainer that lists the stages: targeting, trust, building, isolation, desensitization, maintenance. And you read it twice and you feel sick because someone has written down in plain English the exact thing that happened to you, like a recipe, like he was following instructions you never know existed. The third result is a story written by someone like you who got out. You read it 3 times. You don't call the hotline. But something cracks, something small. Or maybe you don't tell anyone. Not for years, maybe never. Maybe the account just goes dead one day. Maybe he got bored. Maybe he got caught. Maybe he moved on to someone else, someone newer, someone younger, while you were lying awake wondering what you did wrong. You'll never know. That's part of it. You don't get an ending. The story doesn't conclude. He just stops responding and you're left holding it. You delete the messages, you delete the account, you change your number. The thing that happened is still inside of you. You can't delete that. You're 19 or 23 or 31. The number doesn't matter. The math is always the same. However old you are now minus however old you were then equals how long this has been sitting in you. You can have a normal life. People do, people have. You will. You go to college, you get roommates, you date someone eventually, a real person, a person who exists in a body in the same room as you, who doesn't only know you through a screen. The first time someone touches you and it's not him at all, never was. Someone entirely different, someone good. You don't know what to do with your face. You don't know which version of yourself to be. You've been so many versions. You forget which one is yours. You flinch at certain things you can't explain. The notification sound from a certain app, a voice that sounds like his might have sounded, even though you've never actually heard it. The phrase, you're different from other girls. The phrase, no one understands us. The word, baby, in a text message. It turns your stomach for reasons your stomach won't explain. You can't watch certain shows. The ones with the storyline, you change the channel before you know why. You leave the room when a true crime podcast hits a certain beat. Your roommate looks at you. You say you have to pee. You're hypervigilant. That's another word you learn in therapy. You scan rooms. You read people fast. You tell within 30 seconds if someone is going to be a problem. You're almost always right. You wish you weren't. You become very good at boundaries eventually, or you'll have none at all. There isn't really a middle path. You overcorrect or you don't correct. You tell a partner eventually, the right one. They cry. You don't. You used up your crying about it years ago, alone, in the bathroom, with the shower running so no one would hear. They ask if you ever told anyone at the time. You say, not really. They ask if you ever reported it. You laugh. Reported it to who? The platform that doesn't exist anymore? The username that was almost certainly fake? The IP address that bounced through 6 countries before it ever reached your bedroom? The police who will ask why you sent the photos in the first place and what you were wearing in them? You look him up sometimes, the username, just to see. It's gone. He's gone. Or he's somewhere else now, with a different name, with a different 14-year-old, with a different week 1, week 2, and week 3. You don't know if you want to find him or not. Both answers feel wrong. You're in a coffee shop. Could be anywhere. You're an adult now. You have a laptop. You have a job. You have a life that is, on most days, actually yours. There's a kid 2 tables over. 14, maybe 13. Hoodie up, phone face down, then face up. Face down, face up, smiling at it, hiding the smile, smiling again. You know that smile. You know what it looks like when someone is being told they're special for the first time by somebody who has done this before. You don't know for sure. You can't know. Maybe she's texting her friend about a boy from school. Maybe she's fine. Maybe everything's fine. Maybe. You think about saying something. You think about what you would even say. Hi, I'm a stranger. Your phone is making you smile in a way I recognize. Please be careful. Please show somebody. Please don't send the photo. Please don't believe him when he says you're different. You are different, but not the way he means. Please. She would think you're insane. Her mother would think you're insane. You would think you're insane. You don't say anything. You finish your coffee. You think about the version of you who sat in her chair 10 years ago, 15 years ago, smiling at a phone. You think about how no one is really coming to save them. Not the platforms who profit, not the laws which lag a decade behind technology, not the parents who don't know what to look for and were raised on a stranger danger script that is outdated before they finish memorizing it. Not the schools who still teach internet safety is 1998 and the threat is a pop-up window. The only people who actually know what it looks like from the inside are the ones it already happened to, and mostly we don't talk about it. Mostly we just sit in coffee shops and recognize each other's old wounds and someone else's children and don't say anything because there isn't anything to say that wouldn't sound insane. You stand, you leave exact change on the table. You walk out into the afternoon. The kid is still smiling at her phone. You don't look back. You don't disappear exactly. You just go on with your day. That's what survivors do mostly. We go on with our days. Part of you stays in that coffee shop. Part of you always will. That's the trade. That's always been the trade.